Good afternoon. My name is Emmanuel Hales with Green America and United Green. We're bringing you a series of green topics found under the Recovery and Reinvestment Act. Tonight is episode 2, which is weatherization. Now, in the Weatherization Act portion of the Recovery and Reinvestment Act, there is $5 billion being set aside for weatherization projects. Now, weatherization projects are inexpensive energy upgrades to low-income homes. Now, the goal of this is to be able to do at least 1 million energy upgrades to low-income homes within the first year and each year after that. Now, most states have received minimal amount of money for weatherization in the past and are about to get a huge capacity of money or revenue flowing in through the Recovery and Reinvestment Act. Let's take Virginia, for instance. In past years, Virginia has maybe seen at most $4 million in recovery money, weatherization money. This year, they're going to receive $94 million out of the Recovery and Reinvestment Act just for weatherization. Now, in the past, a lot of your community action agencies, housing and urban development, and possibly HUD or Human Affairs have received this funding, again, at a small amount of revenue. So now with this major influx of revenue coming through, there's a huge need for energy auditors as well as energy weatherization contractors, because when you have that many homes that have to be done, there has to be a capacity or a large amount of individuals that can do that work. So there's a key opportunity to put a lot of individuals to work immediately, not only existing contractors, but also some maybe not as high educated or highly technical skilled employees who can be taught to weatherize homes very quickly. Now, when they say weatherizing homes, the average home should receive weatherization projects for about $6,500 per home. Now, to find out if you're eligible to have weatherization to your home, you can go to the Department of Energy and look at the 2009 Poverty Income Guidelines and Definitions, and it will tell you if you fall under the eligibility to receive weatherization for your home. Now, again, this is also the fastest way to put individuals to work in the local communities, in their communities. Now, here's how it's going to work. Each state is going to be allocated an amount of money to complete these projects, and you can find that on the Department of Energy's website, and you can also find it on the Green for All website. They have it listed by state. Some states are getting as much as in the hundreds of millions of dollars to do the weatherization projects. Now, within 60 days of the 2009 financial guidelines or funding guidelines of the weatherization, the states have to come up with local meetings, if you want to call town hall meetings, for local organizations to decide how the funding will be planned and projected throughout the localities. Now, here's the thing. Now, the 2009 funding guidelines came out November 17th, but the final guidelines didn't come out until just this past March 11th. So you need to find out if your state has already held its town hall meetings with the local organizations to find out exactly what plans are going to be put into place. Because if they haven't, then here's your opportunity to get yourself plugged in immediately. Now, as of April 1st, states will receive the first 10% of this funding. Now, this first 10% is to advance local weatherization providers a pre-reward cost help, for whatever cost they're going to incur until the major funding rolls out. Now, rumor is mid-May, the next 40% of this funding is going to come out. Now, that 40% is to begin these projects. So we're looking at less than a month, maybe a month and a half before half of all of that funding that we're talking about for these states is going to start pumping through our states into the local chapters. So now's the time to find out and get yourself involved. Now, the remaining 50% will be distributed over the next 2 years out of the total weatherization project. Now, 10 to 20% of that has to be tied into training. Now, when you say training, those individuals are going to be doing the training most likely are going to be community colleges and technical schools that either have the capacity to do the training or have done weatherization training in the past. So these individuals are going to partner with Department of Housing and Community Development to find out which organizations will hold that training. So if you're a training provider, you may want to find out that information pretty quickly so you can tie yourself in there. Another 3% is actually going to be held to the side just to build new facilities to hold weatherization training for. So if you're interested in building a training facility, there's money set aside for that. Another key piece, and always a key piece when you're talking about the Recovery and Reinvestment Act, is the data collection. Now there are software providers out there right now that are coming up with data collection pieces just for the Recovery and Reinvestment Act. But another key opportunity, if you're an auditor or someone who works in that field of work, tie yourself in by showing the results of these programs and giving that information back to the states. There has to be local accountability, stateside accountability, as well as federal accountability, and they're going to be looking for individuals to help them do that. Now, the Department of Energy is going to provide a few things also. They're going to come up with a standard curriculum for these training programs so that it's going to help you certify these individuals at a federal standard as well as a state standard. They're also going to define the minimum energy audit standard. Now, they're looking for individuals to use some of the more commonly used technologies, such as the wind blowers, which connect into the door, infrared technology, and things of that nature. But the Department of Energy is going to help us out by giving us a little more clear definition. They're also going to set a work specification standard for the contractors that's going out there and doing this labor, so that, again, within that $6,500, it's explained exactly what's being looked to be done. Now, here's a key thing for you contractors out there. You're going to have someone with HVAC certification or license on your team. I'm hearing through the state levels that's going to be one of the most important things that you have as part of your staff or your team when you're going out and doing these projects. So that may be an opportunity for you to collaborate with the HVAC guy that you know. That's all the information. We're trying to keep this under 7 minutes per topic. We will be back next week. We probably will talk a little more weatherization as well as a new topic. We also want to remind individuals about the upcoming event on April 25th at the Hampton Roads Convention Center, where we'll be having the Virginia United Green Symposium. A lot of exciting panels as well as some other fun stuff going on. So please, if you have an opportunity to come, please come out there and see us. And if you want more information on the agenda and the topics, you can go to virginiaunitedgreen.org. And as always, if you have questions, you can visit us at info@virginiaunitedgreen.org. Just want to send a special thank you out to Green for All and the Green Job Alliance for their continued support and efforts. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you next week. Good night.